Yo, what is up, everyone? So, first things first, new Warm Ballers hoodies are dropping this week, so be on the lookout, warmballers.com. Second thing, I got a runny nose, and I have no idea why. And third, once previews and predictions dropped on Friday, the first thing out of your mouth was, actually the first thing out of your mouth in the comments was mainly, you're happy that I was back, making content specific to YouTube, and I'm happy that I'm back. But the second thing that came out of your mouth was, where's the music? This is awkward. And you know what? Fine, I'll show you some goddamn music. Hit it! Anyway, let's get to it. It's my team of the week, which is being sponsored by my Twitch channel. What are you waiting for? Go follow me on Twitch. This is in order. So I guess that makes this show, the Jimmy Conrad Twitch channel, proudly presents Jimmy Conrad's team of the week, which is quite a mouthful. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make that a little shorter next time. Because right now, it's time to name my top 11 players from this past weekend, which I'm going to admit, I got some pretty good assistance from some of my friends in the chat on the stream to help me do all of this. And starting in goal, behind a 3-4-3 formation is Anthony Lopes. How do you guys like my new graphics package? It's pretty nice, right? Anyway, some people are gonna think it's Lopez or Lopez, and it's not, it's Lopes. I looked it up on forvo.com. Pretty cool website, by the way. And this guy made some huge saves throughout, but mainly at the end to help Lyon in their shock 2-1 win over PSG, which helped preserve the victory for the third best team in France, which also was the first league loss for PSG this season. And from Lyon's perspective, they created a gap because fourth place Saint-Etienne drew, so now the gap between them is 6 points. And that's important because the top 3 teams in France qualify for the Champions League, but fourth place, it's the Europa League. So barring a total collapse, which is possible, but I don't really see it happening, Lyon should qualify again for the Champions League next season. However, from a PSG's perspective, they have to be shitting their pants right now. I mean, they got the diapers out, they're strapping them on because they picked the absolute worst time to have a bunch of injuries and to have some uneven form because they don't seem to be firing on all cylinders. And that is a shame because they spend all this money, gajillions and gajillions of dollars, to try to win the Champions League. And next week it starts again, and they're running into the team that could be the hottest team in Europe, Manchester United. Now, I don't know if you believe that or not, but given that United's current form and their belief in themselves, it's hard to argue otherwise. But that's a conversation for another time because now I need to unveil my defenders in this 3-4-3 formation. And first up is Vili Orban, the 26-year-old center-back captain for RB Leipzig, who is also a Hungarian international, scored 2 goals on set pieces and helped his team get a clean sheet away from home against Hanover 3-0, which keeps them in 4th. But I really feel like RB Leipzig is on the move. I see them finishing top 3, potentially top 2. That's how well they're playing right now, and this is just another performance that highlighted how good they are and how good they've been after the break. And next to him, it's going to be Ruben Dias from Benfica because the 21-year-old center-back ended up scoring the game-winning goal in Benfica's huge 4-2 win away from home against their Lisbon rival Sporting Clube de Portugal, which allowed Benfica to gain 2 valuable points on league leaders Porto, who could only muster a 0-0 draw against Vitória. So we could argue that he scored the most important goal so far in Benfica's season. And then finally, rounding out the defenders, it's Jérôme Roussillon. I'm trying, okay? Who was easily my man of the match this past weekend for Wolfsburg, not only because he provided the game-winning assist in their huge 1-0 win away from home over Hertha Berlin, but because the guy was so dangerous all night, he was going up and down from his left-back position and easily creating the most dangerous chances for his club, which now keeps his club on top of a very crowded middle of the table in Germany and keeps him relevant in the conversation for positions in Europe next season. And then in midfield, holding it down in front of the back 3, well, it's gotta be Paul Pogba, whose exquisite assist on Marcus Rashford's game-winning goal in United's big 1-0 win away from home over Leicester was more than enough for me to believe that he deserved to be in my team of the week. And yes, I know that one of my favorite players, N'Golo Kante, had 2 exquisite assists as well, both to Gonzalo Higuain, but it was against Huddersfield. And Huddersfield are trash right now. They are so bad. So that has to be taken into consideration when voting. And that's what I do. I take that into consideration. I'm being transparent with you guys. And yes, okay, fine, Leicester aren't that great either, but they did win the league less than 3 seasons ago, so it's not like they're complete chumps now. And then on one side, I'm going with Gervinho. Yes, the Gervinho, who scored 2 goals in the last 20 minutes, including 1 in injury time, to help his club Parma come back from a 3-1 deficit against the mighty Juventus in Turin to earn a pretty remarkable 3-3 draw. Also, in case you didn't see it the first time, he's got Inho in his name. And that's just bonus points with me. Now, yes, this is the part of the video where you're going to remind me in the comments that, oh, Jimmy, you only like to pick players in your team of the week that win on the weekend. Okay, that's true. I do like to do that. So if I pick somebody that didn't win their game on the weekend, like I'm doing with Gervinho, you're going to be like, well, why don't you consider Messi? He helped Barcelona come back from 2 goals by scoring 2 goals in the second half to earn a 2-2 draw with Valencia. Or Ronaldo. He had 2 goals and 1 assist in that 3-3 draw against Parma. But listen, when you come back down from a 3-1 deficit against the 7-time defending league champions away from home, that feels like a goddamn win to me, okay? So don't at me in the comments. Gervinho's in the team. And then on the other side, I'm going with Vinicius Jr. because the 18-year-old Brazilian was the best player on the field for me in Real Madrid's 3-0 win over Alaves, which, as a reminder, in case you're not paying attention, it's the 5th straight win in all competitions for Madrid, which proves that these guys know how to peak when the Champions League rolls around, unlike currently PSG or Bayern Munich or Juventus, and maybe even a little bit Liverpool, who all don't seem to be playing at their very best at the moment. And then finally, in my number 10 spot, it's 22-year-old Alexander Golovin, who scored the game winner and was just superb overall in Monaco's 2-1 win over Toulouse, which was their first win in the league since December, which is just... And it was their first league win at home all season. All season! And we're in February. How is that? What did Thierry Henry do to this team? And then up top, it's a trio of hat-trick heroes. So I don't want to hear anything from you Gonzalo Higuain fans, if those exist. I don't think I've actually met anybody that's a fan of Gonzalo Higuain. Anyway, these 3 guys that I'm about to mention did the business with 3 goals, not 2. So I don't want anybody to come at me with the, oh, this guy scored a big brace and oh, he's so good, but he scored... No, so not about 2 goals. You had to score 3 to be in this conversation. And the first one up top is Alfred Finnbogason, who scored 3 goals. And yes, okay, fine, 2 were penalties, but still, his club Augsburg needed the win to get out of the relegation zone in the Bundesliga, and he provided it. So I appreciate a player who rises above the pressure, puts his team on his back, and delivers in the biggest of games. And then there's the 28-year-old Dutch international Luc de Jong, who put 3 past Fortuna Sittard and PSV Eindhoven's 5-0 thrashing of that club, which gives de Jong 18 goals in 20 league games so far this season, and it puts him on top of the Eredivisie scoring titles by 5 goals. The guy is smashing it. And then finally, last but not least, it's Sergio Aguero, who absolutely tore Arsenal's back 4 a new one with 3 goals, and Manchester City's ass-kicking of the Gunners, who I thought were potentially going to maybe do something special this season after they had a good run of form in October and November, after they got used to new manager Unai Emery's tactics, but instead, they look very similar to the teams of the last few seasons under Wenger, where you can see their potential, but they never seem to match it. So maybe this is their ceiling. But anyway, this isn't about Arsenal. This is about Sergio Aguero and his incredible ability to score goals, because the guy is a special player. But my fear is that 15, 20, 25 years down the line, when they're talking about the best strikers to ever play in the Premier League, he's not going to be on the tip of people's tongues. It's going to be Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer and Wayne Rooney and Didier Drogba. And they'll probably add Harry Kane into the mix. And then maybe even Andy Cole or Dennis Bergkamp or Robin Van Persie. He's just not going to jump out at you as a name. And I feel bad for him because he's such a good player. He's so good at scoring goals and finding pockets of space to make those goals happen. And he just feels underappreciated to me. And I hope that he's not. So I hope I'm wrong in this. But I get the sense that he will. Anyway, that is it. That is all I got. So let me know who you think I'm missing, or if you think I'm crazy with some of these selections. And also, I'm very curious to see how many of these guys end up in the FIFA Team of the Week. I got 8 out of 11 last week, so we'll see if I can do better than that. I bet you I get around the same. And of course, follow me on Twitch, keep it here on this beloved YouTube channel. A lot more content coming down the line. And I just want to mention that I love you guys. Your support means the world to me. It keeps me going. And I'm going to start to cry. So we're going to end this. Later.